Real mixes take more than half an hour to do. This is a very rushed version, but that's something like I want it to be. So I'm going to bounce the whole bass line out now. Bass line in full. Alright, so we can now create another folder and just hide all that business. Just mute it all and whack it away. Mess. So usually when I'm making tunes and you start to have too many channels going on, I have a mess kind of folder that I can go back in if I need any elements, but you can kind of just leave it be. It's not doing anything. Okay, so I'm going to whack in our bass line again now and have a look at it. Okay, so got a nice squashed sausage. With a good solid low end on those first two notes. The good thing about using sine waves and stuff, if you've chorused and phased your bass line quite a lot, this low end becomes really consistent and a bit floppy. Reinsaying sine waves makes sure that they're really solid. Okay, so we're going to create two versions of this now. So we want to look at what's going on the low end of the tune. So let's so the elements down there, the low end of the kick and the low end of the bass line, right? So we want to have full control over those two elements. So we're going to split the kick into two versions of itself. So I'm going to have everything below 150 and everything above. So I'm going to create a copy of that now. And there we go. Okay, so I'm going to bounce these out now. I like bouncing out stuff so I can have a look at, well, what the waveform is like. It helps you to know when to fade stuff and have ultimate control over stuff. I should say stuff less. I have to find a better word for that. Okay, so let's get rid of our originals and have a look. So this is kick tops. This is kick bottoms. Okay, so generally I color things depending on what frequency content they have. Low end stuff I put in yellow generally. And let's have a little look at what the kick is saying by itself. So interesting that the transient is straight away, obviously. It's the first element of the tune, of the sound, sorry. But then the low end actually comes in quite a long time after the transient. So if you were fading the low end of your bass line on the kick, if you had it normally, the loudest part is the start, so you'd probably fade for then. But that's actually just the top end, and so you're still going to be creating distortions you don't want if you're not fading at the correct times. So bouncing out allows me to see that. And we'll do the same to the bass line as well. So we're going to create a version that's above 150 and one below. So let's have a little play here, create another version of it, and do the opposite. Okay, so now we're going to bounce that out. Alright. So let's have a look at this. Looks like the low end. Okay, so that's going to be in yellow again. And the bass line is mid-range, so that's going to be red. Let's colour that as well. Alright, so now I look at the things that are conflicting the low end. So we don't want two yellows happening at the same time, basically.